Hey guys, so for this video, I'm going to be talking about common mistakes you're making in Fortnite Season 3. Unlike in my past videos where I talk about faults in your mentality or your practice routine, today I'm strictly going to focus on gameplay mistakes. These include things like mechanical errors you make while editing, bad habits you commit while rotating, and misconceptions you have regarding certain techniques. They also apply to players of all skill levels and span across every Battle Royale game mode. My goal is not only to get you guys to realize your mistakes, but also to help you guys understand why you shouldn't be making them in the first place. That is the key to improving as a player. So with all of that being said, let's get right on into it. The first and most common mistake I see you guys making is constantly jumping as you rotate on foot. Yes, you heard that correctly, jumping a lot while running is a mistake. Here's why. Whenever you jump in Fortnite, you're making yourself a much easier target to hit. Just think about it. While you're in midair, you cannot move right or left. You are forced to come down from your jump in a straight line. Due to that fact alone, any good player can predict where you'll land, track you through your jump, and headshot snipe you with ease. Have you ever noticed that most of the time people get sniped, it's as they're coming down from a jump? You have, right? That is not a coincidence. Jumping has and always will make you an easier target to hit. Alright, how should you be rotating on foot then? The simple answer is to do what pros like FaZe Wizzle do and move unpredictably right and left. That's it. By quickly moving side to side instead of jumping up, you're making it much harder for your opponent to track you. They either have to predict which direction you're going to stay in or which direction you're going to quickly turn to. Both of those options are extremely difficult to guess. Something else FaZe Wizzle does on top of this is utilize his double movement binds. Double movement binds are something I brought up a lot in the past. They allow keyboard and mouse players to have 360-degree movement. When used correctly, they also make your movement even more unpredictable. Look at this clip from Bizzle. You cannot tell me strafing right and left with double movement binds is not broken. Click said himself that Bizzle was impossible to track when he used them. Now, the one and only time I advise you to jump while rotating is when you're checking behind you. It is way better to quickly do a 180 jump and retain your momentum than it is to fully stop and turn around. I want to make it clear I am not telling you to never jump. You should still jump when you need to in fights and to get around the map. I'm just letting you know it is a huge mistake to spam jump while running to zone. So for all you people watching who constantly get sniped, stop jumping and start strafing side to side. Second mistake on my list is not shaking down your knocked opponents. In case you don't know, you are able to do what's called shaking down your opponents once they're knocked. Just go up to them, press the shakedown button, not the carry button, and your character will start shaking them down. After the full animation goes off, the remaining players in your opponent's team will be highlighted, essentially giving you wall hacks. Seems pretty busted, right? Well, that's because it is. The shakedown mechanic is insanely strong when used correctly. You get real-time vision of your opponents through walls, floors, structures, basically everything for up to a full minute. Its only downside is that the animation cannot be cancelled once you start it. Oh, and you can also not shoot or build as you shake them down. For those of you who did not know this feature existed, I guess I cannot blame you, but for those of you that did and still don't utilize it, you are making a huge mistake. Way too many players try to finish their knocked opponents right away. Bugga even admitted on stream that this is one of his worst habits. He just cannot stop himself from automatically eliminating whoever he has downed. That is not a good habit to have. One useful tip for deciding whether or not you should actually shake your opponent down is to think about where the rest of the knocked player's teammates are. For example, if you just 1v1'd a guy in a trio match and his teammates are about to push you, then you should not shake him down. Not only is it better to get his loot and siphon from the elim, but it's also way too risky considering how long the animation takes. Another example is if your opponent is about to get res. You do not want the other team to have a numbers advantage, so you should just finish him. On the other side of it, if you have a down guy boxed up and his teammates are hiding, then there's no reason not to shake him down. Like I said before, it gives you free wall hacks. Why would you not want that to help you win the fight? So again, just like I said with jumping while rotating to zone, you do not always want to shake down your knocked opponents. It completely depends on the situation or engagement. Do you have a numbers advantage yourself? Do you need the 50 health or shield? Does your teammate need immediate help? These are the questions you gotta ask yourself and your teammate before you shake down your opponent. At the same time though, you need to be aware that it is a huge mistake to not shake down your opponents when you easily can. You're giving up free wall hacks that can win you the fight alone for no reason. We do not do things for no reason around here. So for the love of itsJerian, do me proud and incorporate shakedowns into your team gameplay. Mistake number 3 is not editing for piece control with your blueprints out. Before you say anything, I'm not talking about all edits or editing in general. I specifically said editing for piece control. To understand what I mean by that, watch this clip from my arch nemesis Zexro. At first glance, this seems like a pretty straightforward box fight. Zex gets off a nice shot on the guy, goes on the offensive, steals his wall, gets off a cone slide, and then about 10 seconds later secures the kill. Now, although Zex won the fight, he did make a mistake. That mistake was editing the wall he took with his shotgun shotgun rather than his blueprint. In my opinion, this is arguably the most common mistake that pro players make. They will take a wall, switch to their shotgun, then make the edit and establish piece control with a cone or ramp. It doesn't seem too bad, however, it is a mistake. The right and optimal way to do it is to replace a wall, keep your wall structure out, which means don't swap to your shotgun, make the edit, place a cone or ramp in your opponent's box, then only at the end, take out your shotgun.
But Jerian, isn't that basically the same thing? You finish with the same result.
No, it's actually not, little Timmy. You see, while it may be the same amount of steps and you end with the same result, you're moving back the part where you take out your shotgun and moving up the step where you establish piece control. Establishing piece control quickly is the key to winning fights in Season 3. You need to place down your builds before your opponent does, or else you're out of luck. And the way to do that without relying on your ping is to optimize the way you box fight and edit. Take a look at this clip from Benji to see what I mean. Benji does not get piece control in this fight because he decided to pull out his shotgun before he edited. Had he not wasted those precious milliseconds taking out his shotgun, he most likely would have gotten down the cone before his opponent placed his ramp. However, because he made the mistake of pulling out a shotgun before the edit, therefore not editing earlier with his blueprint, he lost his opportunity to win the fight by not obtaining piece control. Even the best player in the world makes mistakes. Fourth mistake on my list is something way too many people died to: face checking bushes. Bushes in Fortnite Chapter 2 are a lot different than the rinky-dink ones from the first chapter. They're bigger, harder to see through, and good players actually use them to their advantage. Like, how many pro players sat in bushes in Chapter 1? This season, on the other hand, sitting in a bush is a legit strat. You don't have to waste any materials, and you're completely hidden from your opponents. Having those things in mind, I want to know why people still treat them like Chapter 1 bushes. Top tier pros will run straight up to a bush without a care in the world. That is a huge mistake, especially in tournaments. You're risking your entire event just because you're too lazy to clear out a bush correctly. Stop being lazy. All you have to do is build up above the bush you're gonna check, look down, and you can easily see the person hiding inside of it. I kid you not, it's that simple. Another thing you can do, which I showed in my recent advanced tricks video, is throw a crash pad at the bush. Just aim it right at the center, and when you throw it, it will force the bush camper out of his hiding spot, allowing you to secure the kill. It also breaks the bush entirely regardless of whether or not someone's in it, which is good to know. So as simple as it may seem, you guys have got to stop face checking bushes. I know it may work most of the time due to probability, but you never know when someone will be camping in one and ruin your entire match. That is just you being lazy and not clearing out a bush the right way. Thus, heed my warning and start doing it correctly. Second to last mistake I see all too often is players pushing or shooting at everyone they see. In case you guys did not know, you do not have to engage every other player while you rotate. You can simply rotate with them, let them go by you, or turn around and go the other way. That's crazy, right? How could something so simple and basic be so hard to do? The answer is that Fortnite players are dumb, me included. And to prove my point, I want you guys to think about the last Cash Cup or arena game you played in where someone made a stupid push. You most likely tagged the person while they were rotating, and in return, they straight up griefed your game. How did that make you feel? Pretty darn bad, right? Now, I also want you to think about the times where you were the one who made a stupid play. Maybe someone kept spraying at you or would not back off your wall, and you decided to ruin their game. That probably made you feel pretty good. You see the problem though? It's a lot better feeling when you're the one griefing compared to when you're the one getting griefed. Alright Jerian, where the heck are you going with this? My point is that shooting or trying to fight people while you rotate is the one mistake that will get you griefed. It doesn't matter whether you're the griefer or the griefee, both fall under the same mistake. Trust me, I get it can be really hard to stop yourself sometimes. Most of you are pretty young and don't know how to control your emotions. However, there are a few things you could do to stop this mistake from happening in the first place. One is to let people rotate. Just because you have the opportunity to get a few tags off does not mean you should take it. Bad players will quite literally push you for taking off 25 shields. You may think they're stupid and griefing you, but if you had just let them rotate, you could have easily stopped it from happening. Number 2, which is a trick pros use, is to build with wood while rotating. Wood signifies to your opponent that you're just trying to rotate and get to zone. You're not trying to fight or base up with brick, you're simply getting inside the circle. Third tip is to understand griefing will always be griefing. You are not going to have a higher chance of winning the game after you grief someone. If anything, you're going to have a much lower chance because you just wasted a bunch of ammo, mats, health, shield, and time to kill them. The one and only situation you should go full grief mode is if someone else is griefing you for no reason. This is when you did not shoot at them, you didn't even look at them, yet they're griefing you and ruining your game. In that case, yeah, go grief them back. Any other situation, do not make the mistake of griefing. It is and always will be a mistake. Hashtag stop griefing 2020. The last and final mistake you're making is not subscribing to my YouTube channel. Currently, about 60% of you guys watching are not yet subscribed. What the heck are you doing? Subscribing is free, gets you my videos earlier, and actually gets my videos in your sub box. Not to mention, I never sell out and beg for likes, I don't do cringe 5-minute intros where I wish bad luck on you, and I do not clickbait. Your boy is here just trying to get to 1 million subs and helping you guys get better at the game. I personally think that's more than worthy of hitting the subscribe button.
Also, if you don't, you'll have 15 years of bad luck.
Kidding, I'm not that cringe. Overall guys, those are the most common mistakes you're making in Fortnite Season 3. Let me know down below which one you make the most, as well as any I may have missed out on. On top of that, if you enjoyed the video or learned something new, do be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and to turn on post notifications. Shout out to everyone using code itsJerian. In case you guys don't know, I made a second channel called itsJerian. I'm definitely gonna start posting on it very soon. I just need some ideas for it. Give me some ideas down below. Otherwise, that's it from me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.